He claims he wrote my famous catchphrase verse. We all have our take. This one here is my copy.
June or July?
Credit anytime. But there is one person that's absolutely everything, and that person
Was that your house?
is me.
Huh?
Me,
I was at
myself,
your house
and
when
I.
that
I did it all.
This the Buffalo experience, I know that you be hearing this. If you never heard of it, you must be delirious. Tapping if you're serious, we working if you're curious. Experience in Buffalo, sit down and enjoy the show. This the Buffalo experience. Yeah, I know that you be hearing this. It's a podcast. It's a podcast. This the Buffalo experience. Yeah, I know that you be hearing this.
This is a Buffalo Experience podcast. I'm rolling with Big Dave.
I'm Moteeks.
I'm Mark Sinsel, Holy Ground tattoo owner and artist.
All right.
I'm Chris Ferris, here getting a tattoo today.
That's right, man.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Every time I turn the corner, I seen your logo somewhere else. So I was like, oh, I got to get the shot of the door.
That's awesome.
The front, the tattoo. I like the tattoo on the... Because I've always seen this shop. Like, it's been here for a while, right?
Yeah, we've been
for a while?
here at this location. We had a fire at the other location. And at this location, we've been here since 18.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, since 18 we had a fire. I'll never forget that day because it was weird. I'll tell you a little bit of backstory. A pizza place closed down next door. Barbecue joint opened up.
Yeah, I
And they
remember
already had
that
two
place.
little mini fires. And one time I was standing in there and I had to help him put it out because the kid was about to put it out with water, a grease fire.
Oh, Jesus.
And I went next door. I said, "Man, I hope you had paid the insurance because this dude's gonna burn us down."
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 weeks later to the day, he burned us down.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was at Letchworth State Park when I got the phone call, so
Yeah.
nervously had to drive that long distance, couple hours, just to see everything burned, gone.
Yeah, that's rough.
And we lost everything. Didn't recover much at all from it.
Yeah.
But my machines were all safe. Luckily, to this really nice sink I bought. It was an old sink from a school,
Yeah.
and the drawers were just so thick that nothing got burned in there.
Wow.
So
Nice.
that's all my machines
Damn.
survived.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
an
that's
au-
huge.
And an autographed album from Guns N' Roses that I got
Dude.
3 days before.
No
because
way.
Guns N' Roses was in town, and I promised my friend Nicholas that I would go to hang out with the band and get the autographs for him and come back. Which I got everyone's. Yeah, I got everyone's autograph except one person. But I got Axel, Slash, Duff, got everybody, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he was
You were
pretty happy
probably
with it.
freaking out when you saw that thing still, like,
Well, when I opened
unburnt
up the
and
drawer
good
and I
to
told him,
go.
I said, I hope it's still there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I
Oh,
got
and you
in
thought
there.
it was gone.
I thought it was
There's
gone.
no way.
How much are those fucking the? Because you run like the Axis or whatever, right?
Yeah, these machines are anywhere from $500 to $1,500. This one's $1,500.
Yeesh.
Yeah, including the batteries.
Yeah, I was gonna say the battery alone, that thing's gotta last for.
Yeah,
you gotta
but
have
this
good
one is,
hours on it, and
This machine alone is like $800 without the battery,
yeah.
and then 2 batteries and a charge. It was about $1,500 for everything.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, they gotta be reliable.
But it's worth it.
You know, yeah, it's
Yeah.
gotta be reliable. So
Well, it's so much quieter than like old school statues.
yeah. Like
yeah,
ever since I switched over to these, like many years ago, every time I go on the road and I'd work, I would hear other machines. I'm like, man, I'm so glad I don't have to hear that every day. And my
Yeah.
hands would buzz at night when I'm sleeping. The vibration in my hands would still in my fingers.
It's like pushing a
vibrating.
lawnmower for too long. You know what I mean?
It's exactly like it. Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Or like if you rode your Harley, you went across the country and
Oh yeah.
your whole,
Oh
your whole
yeah.
body shot.
I
Yeah.
rode
If you
to
ride
Florida.
for
You
long
go to
enough.
sleep, it's
I
like you
rode
got
to Florida on
tremors.
my Harley. My
Especially
fingers
if you
were-
have like hard mounted like handlebars and all that.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
thankfully on my bike everything's like got a shock mount.
Like absorbs.
So it's not
absorbs it.
too bad.
That's good.
I
But
had
it's
shots.
I was
still-
gonna
where it
say
just
my
still
shoulder. I feel like
obviously-
my shoulders would just feel like jello because I got the bad shoulders. So I would just.
Oh, I can imagine.
I don't
Yeah.
ride on bikes, man. I don't ride bikes in general.
I quit riding
I'm top
bikes.
heavy.
I got
big
hit
guy.
a couple times. That was
You won't
it.
catch me on a
Yeah.
motorcycle. Catch me on a mountain bike though. That's good.
Hell
Right.
yeah.
With the shock absorber.
So what are you actually getting a tattoo of over there?
Right now, I'm getting
Obi-
a tattoo of Han Solo.
Han Solo?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
He's shitting his pants right now. He's got the worst. That's like one of the worst spots, man. I remember.
Yeah, he's not
I
feeling
got a
it.
little tattoo done, and they had to get under the arm fat, and I remember just for some reason it was like it must have been hitting a nerve in one spot, and I
Yeah.
swear I felt it in my ribs.
I feel like it was on your
Dude,
last
Yeah.
nerve.
Oh my god, dude.
Your
it was-
nerves are weird like that.
Yeah.
You're
I remember getting tattooed on my arm, felt it in my neck. So weird. So
dude.
weird.
He
And then
he-
you're just focused on the neck now. You're like, what the fuck's going
Mark-
on? Like the tattoo doesn't even hurt.
Mark literally did all on my rib cage that goes from like my spine to
I started
just
at the
under
other
my
location.
nipple, and
Oh.
yeah,
Oh, so he did that years ago.
Yeah.
He's the one that did it.
right before his
said
shop
9
burned down.
Oh,
8-9
shit.
years ago, right
Wow.
before
So
shop
one
was
of the
on.
things that he lost in the fire was the stencil to my
Holy
fucking thing.
shit. Did he reimburse you for the stencil? No, I'm kidding.
We worked something
I'm
out.
sorry.
Yeah, Mark,
We're just,
what the fuck?
We're
Where's
just being funny, you know?
Where's
I
my
just met this
13
guy. I'm
cents?
busting his balls right in his shop.
We worked something out.
No,
No, that's all. That's, you know, it is what it is, man. It's not like
Yeah.
the fire was
so
your fault. That's
my
crazy.
point. My bad. My point of saying that was what we were talking about with the nerves. Is he did the freaking tattoo on there, and right when he did this area right here, all I could feel it was right in my nipple.
Oh,
Yep.
It
I remember
felt
that.
like
Oh,
somebody was
dude.
giving me like a titty twister or something.
and
you
like
know?
just spinning it and spinning it and spinning it. Almost like your titty was going to fall off.
Right.
That's like the worst, like most uncomfortable. You'd almost rather feel the pain in your ribs.
It's all
Yeah.
good. I like, you know what I mean?
I love tattoos.
It
man.
is what
I mean,
it is. I said, you know.
It gets rid of all the pain that I feel inside, so it kind of like it covers it up for a couple days.
Oh, yeah.
It does.
I feel like everyone could agree
And you
with
have
that.
something cool on your skin there now. You know?
Yeah, I love tattoos, man. It's funny. I was literally when I came here, I'm like, damn, I want a tattoo now.
Right.
I was
I
literally
actually-
thinking
It's
that.
just something about walking in.
Can I
there.
actually
dude,
tell you
just-
something? So I was
I love it.
thinking about maybe after this getting some more work done on my owl.
Yeah. What do you want to add to it?
He's like, yeah.
I mean, if
He's like,
you're
am I available?
right, are you, yeah.
I'll be
Did
available.
you even ask if I have someone coming in after? I mean, you recorded me during the client right now.
Right.
Oh man, no, that's cool, man. That's really
Hell
cool.
yeah.
I love
Hell
it.
yeah.
Double time.
So Mark,
Sometimes.
I've actually known you for quite a while. Obviously, like before your shop burned.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, like, how did we meet? I think
I don't remember. How did we meet?
My buddy Mike Topic.
Oh yeah. That's right. I was tattooing Mike.
He did a lot of. Yeah, I'm sorry, using it as a wand
Use
again.
this hand. Use the other.
Mark
hand.
did,
Point it with
yeah.
their finger.
I tattooed
Mark
Mike
did a
Sopic.
lot of Mike Sopic's work
Good
and
kid,
whatnot, and then I started coming to you, and I got all my tattoos.
Oh, you got all your tattoos with him?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
all three of them.
Sometimes it usually works out
So,
that way.
Yeah.
And I encourage other people. You don't have to get tattooed
Yeah.
exclusively by me. It's nice.
No,
But-
it's just always, you know,
You know. I
done
always,
right by me. So
Yeah.
You know,
For
I
sure.
always tell people like if you want something that, you know, I typically can tattoo mostly any style,
Yeah.
but you don't have to get exclusively tattooed by me. If you're a collector and you want to get tattooed by other artists, by all means, just make sure
Right.
they're a good artist. You know.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I
'cause
don't
you don't
want
wanna
you
see-
coming back having
yeah.
to fix it.
Right.
Yeah, or you don't want to see someone with this terrible looking thing on their leg or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
You're like, and they're just like leaving it, and you're like, "Wow, dude, you could have
Yeah.
just came to me, man.
Yeah.
Probably
Exactly.
would have been a similar price, you know."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
some,
not-
So-
you know, some
it's
people
not
they try to
cheaper.
go like anything. You try to get something cheaper, and then you end up with the results. You know.
Right, you end up with a shitty tattoo.
Yeah.
So, Mark, what actual style would you say you?
My specialty is black and gray portraits and just pretty much black and gray anything like realism.
Wow.
Black and gray trees, forests. Like I've done full nature back pieces and full sleeves.
Okay.
I've done full sleeves on him of all black and gray portraits of all Star
Yeah, I'm
Wars.
looking at the one on his arm here.
I did
that's
his whole
sweet.
mother's back of all roses and flowers and stuff.
Wow.
I did your sister's full sleeve of all flowers and things.
Yeah, my whole
Like that.
family comes down.
Nice.
We won't go into anyone else either.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, it's like your body's already covered in it. Why not? Like, why wouldn't your family go through him? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense. He does great work. You know.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure it's fairly priced, where it's not like
I'm very reasonable, you know,
Yeah.
like I don't charge by the hour, which I probably should. You know, I charge by, you know, every portrait, I charge a flat rate portrait. You know, usually it's $500 a portrait.
Yeah.
And most artists around here that do portraits are probably going to charge more than that, but that's
Yeah.
fine. That's their prerogative, and people get good work around here. You know,
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah,
lot of
for
really
sure.
good artists around here, but there's a lot of really bad ones too.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, everyone I've worked with, I've been pretty okay with, but I've only gotten work done from 2 people. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't really just go to some guy, you know.
Right.
Like I would
just
get a
some guy.
tattoo from you because I would get a tattoo from you. I've seen your work. He's literally like my best friend, and he did all of his tattoos on with you for years. You know, it's
Yeah.
like obviously I trust his work, and now I know he does portraits. I don't know anybody that really does like focuses on the portraits, and like that's what you specialize in. So
Yeah.
I would love to get a picture of my grandmother. That'd be sweet.
I
I
think-
would love that.
Yeah.
I'd say like 90% of the tattoos I do are portraits and realism.
Yeah.
And then the other stuff is just like, you know, everyday things. Which
Yeah.
I don't refuse any tattoos. There's artists out there that will refuse tattoos.
Yeah.
I don't refuse tattoos. I'll do anything. I'll do everything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not, you know, it's not beneath me. There's a lot of artists out there, you know, not here, just here, but all over the world that are just, they only do this thing and that's it.
Right.
You know, which is, you know, again, their prerogative. But
Yeah.
I like to do everything because everything's a lesson. I'm always learning.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
for
I've been
sure.
tattooing a very long time.
I actually was gonna. That's kind of like my next question. Is
How
like,
long
how
have you
did
been
you
tattooing?
get? How did you get into tattooing, and like how long you been doing it?
Very interesting story here. It's not every day that one gets the bug of wanting to tattoo. So, my friend's father was a mediocre tattooer. He wasn't really that good of a person. He was in jail. He was
Yeah.
in prison actually. But he had all this tattoo equipment in the basement. And 14-year-old me decided to tattoo my friends with all that equipment. Yeah.
Were you?
You just realized you were born with a gift.
Yeah, I guess so.
Did you ever? Did you watch him do it, or like you?
No, I
kinda-
never actually watched him do one. Because he was still in prison. When he got out of prison, I think I just turned 18.
Yeah.
And I was 14 when I started tattooing people.
Okay.
And all the kids were getting tattooed by me. And some of the
No
parents
way.
were cool with
Right.
it. Some of the parents were pretty mad about it.
Oh,
So
man.
you were
That's
were you just like good at drawing, or like? Because I always thought about that. Like, I would try to tattoo, but I'm terrible at drawing. Like, I can't.
Funny thing is, you don't even
Stick
have to draw,
figures,
be able
like-
to draw to do tattoos. Because I know artists out there that don't draw at all, and they're really good at portraits in black and gray, but they
Yeah.
can't draw anything. You know,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they just like using the stencil and like
Yeah.
kind of.
like they can like be like a copy machine, and they can
Yeah.
copy. They be just be like a copy machine. And do a
Yeah, and they're
tattoo.
good at the shading.
Yeah, and they're good at it, you know. Because I know artists that can't draw at all,
Yeah.
you know, on the West Coast, but they're really good at portraits, better than me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you remember what was your first
Isn't that,
tattoo?
that's kind of
My
crazy.
first tattoo was an alien on my friend. I thought it looked horrible, but he thought it looked great.
Do you
And
have a
funny thing
picture
is,
of it?
I don't, but I can get it. His name's Paco.
Can you
Taco.
send it to us? Like, 'cause
Absolutely.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, whenever you get
I'll see
time,
what-
man. Because
I
that
think
would
he's
be
on my
really
friends-
cool
I
to
think
go
he's-
in.
Put it,
I think he's
we'll
on my
put it in
friends
the
list
video.
now.
Yeah.
I think he's on my friends list now, but I thought it was an awful tattoo. But
Yeah.
I seen it actually like maybe 3 years ago when he friended me on Facebook, and he stopped in one day, and we had a little reunion there, and he was like, "Hey, you remember this?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh my god, I thought that looked awful. Did you have it touched up?" He's like, "No, it's been like this since you did it." I'm like, "How old is that?" He's like 40 years old maybe.
Damn.
And I was like, "Well, no, it hasn't been that long because 1988 is when it started, so about 30 some years." 35 years. It was probably 35 years old at the time when I seen
The
it.
first
Yeah.
thing you did, wow.
First thing I did.
So
Yeah,
you
that's-
definitely are like naturally. You were probably naturally artistic.
I was really good. I used to
Yeah.
draw a lot, and I used to paint. I used to try and paint my own bikes and paint my guitars, and I used to draw on walls all the time. And funny thing is, I was in high school, and they thought we were playing Dungeons and Dragons in the gym, but we were actually house tattooing people. We had all the books up. I'm sitting there in the gym tattooing people.
Oh my god.
That's
Could you
pretty
imagine
cool.
nowadays if it was
Oh my
like
god,
a terrorist threat?
you get arrested for
Yeah.
it.
You got
Yeah.
a bomb on you or something. And you're
Yeah.
trying to,
Yep.
they hear that. Oh man, that's crazy.
So
mean, I went to a school where kids carried guns sometimes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it was a decent school.
So
I loved the school.
how did you end up like starting Holy Ground, the tattoo shop?
Well, so my first shop was 1999. I opened up Southside Inc. and we got permission from the city and everything to open up. And
Okay.
then a few months later, we got a thing to close down. We were right on South Side, near the school, South Park.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
they said we were too close to the school, blah, 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 blah. But what ended up being is a politician lived in the area, and he didn't like the fact that we were there. So we got closed down.
Right, yeah, because tattoo shops have like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
To some people, it's like almost a stigma. You
it
know
is.
what I mean?
You know, and this guy was super against it, which is fine.
And,
It's his priority.
it's a weird thing because it's like there's a lot of people that have tattoos that you'd be surprised. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like we're in it's not like the 50s, you know what I mean?
Back then, it felt like we were because
You know?
I think there was only maybe 10 shops opened at that time. Now there's probably 100 shops.
I couldn't even.
Yeah.
Couldn't even imagine.
Couldn't even think.
When I
Yeah.
started, there was like, I remember the health inspector. He's now a one of the head inspector guys or chief inspector. I've known him since I started. I was licensed at 18, so in '92 I was licensed since then. So I've known the guy forever.
Yeah.
And he told me, he goes, when you got licensed, he goes, there was maybe 30 licenses in the whole area
Yeah.
of Western New York in Erie County. He goes, now
Yeah,
there's
'cause
like
it wasn't-
thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
There's a
imagine.
few thousand.
People doing it
Yeah.
in their basements. Like,
Oh, yeah,
literally,
people do it in
I
their
mean,
basements.
I actually
Oh,
know
yeah.
somebody that does tattoos. It's my buddy's dad.
Yeah.
And he does phenomenal work, and he's just always done it at his house, you know? It's like word of mouth, just
Yeah.
everyone's mom and sister and brother goes to him, and,
I
you know,
remember
it's a
hearing
good setup.
about like tattoo parties back in the day.
Yeah, I remember
'Cause there
those too.
wasn't-
I used to do those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah.
I used to like
Yeah,
doing
like
those.
I don't know if I want to sit around at a party and get a tattoo. Like I feel like that's you
Yeah,
know.
because the only thing
No
is,
shade to
the only
anybody
thing
that
I
did,
didn't
but-
like about doing that is like most of the people are getting drunk and you know,
Yeah, that's
tattooing
what I'm
people that are
saying.
drunk
You're
are
in
just,
like
it's
a different
annoying.
kind of a atmosphere.
It is.
You know what I mean? There isn't like 25 people surrounding us right now.
Yeah,
You know,
and
It's
then
like,
people
yeah.
bumping into you,
and
people
they're all
smoking.
drinking, and they want
and
to tap
drinking.
you to say, hey, you know,
Yeah, hey, I'm
some
next
dumb
or whatever.
Hey,
shit.
how's it
You know,
looking? Dude,
Yeah,
no way.
that
You'll
too.
see it when it's done.
Or
man.
people are
Like,
making fun of them, like, "Oh, does that hurt?"
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
It's like,
So
yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah,
I
it's.
definitely like the one-on-one with my tattoo
I do.
artist, you know,
Yeah, me
just
too.
getting it done, man. And then coming back in for more work, that's cool
Yes.
too. Like, hey, let's pick up where we left off, you know, like that is pretty cool, you know.
right.
So I tattooed at a couple shops. Styling was on Harlem. I did that. I did another one, Micah's Tattoos, which is horrible, on Broadway. That was one of the one shops I worked at.
Okay.
And then I worked at Heroes Inc. after Styling. And then I decided to jump ship in 2007, 2008, and I moved to California, San Francisco. I tattooed at Lefty's in San Francisco, which was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
But
I've never heard of it, but
yeah, it's like it's in Colorado now. Lefty's is still in San Francisco, it's ran by someone else, but the
Yeah.
owner is in Colorado now. And I worked at Lefty's for a while, and I thought it was great. And then when I came back, I worked at another shop on South Park, and it's closed now. But the owner was kind of like going through some really weird stuff at the time of divorce, and things were just like not cool at the shop. So
Yeah.
me and the kid that worked there said, "Hey, let's just go open up our own." So we had hats that had HG on them, and the owner would ask us what they meant. We're like, "Oh, it means Holy Gophers."
holy gophers.
We just said dumb shit, but we had our gear before we even left the place for like months.
Yeah.
You know, but we
Yeah.
were building it.
Yeah,
in
you were
secret.
building your brand and everything.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
cool, man. Yeah,
And
that's how you got to do it, though. You know.
yeah,
You
and
gotta-
we ended up opening up, and we opened up there in 2010, December 7th, 2010. And
Okay.
so I've been open for 15 years now.
Wow.
Well, it'll be 15 in December this year, but
Yeah.
You've
yeah.
been here for now going on 7 years, right? You
Yeah.
started in 18
Yeah.
here. Yeah. Damn.
So we were there 8 years, and now here 7. And I'm glad we got out of that place because that landlord was just not not a cool dude at all. Like
Yeah.
we had roof leaks, and we can't have roof leaks, you know.
Yeah, no,
We had flooding
no,
all the
that's it.
time. We had heating issues. Like
Yeah.
it just seemed like always something, and he always wanted us to pay for it, us to fix it, you know. And
Yeah.
you know, come to find out, he's like that with every business owner, and even his tenants that are just regular tenants.
Yeah.
Like he just didn't care. He's one of those guys who slumlord. He owns a bunch of properties and doesn't care about it.
Right. Yeah.
He's just trying to collect the check.
Yeah. So
That's
after
it,
after the fire, he was like, "Well, you're still under contract. You need to pay me my rent every month." I'm like, first off, there's no place to pay rent for. Second of all, you should have read the contract. I never signed it. Well, you need to sign the lease. I'm like,
You
you think I'm gonna sign it now?
now, but what
you think I'm gonna sign it
are
now?
you gonna ask me for 10 grand too next right after I
Yeah.
sign it?
Because he said,
Sign
"I'll
my
take it to
life away?
court." I was like, "You should check the lease." I never signed it.
Yeah, damn.
I sent it back, but I never
Yeah,
signed
he
it.
screwed up, man.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's kind of good that it worked out for you like that too.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Well,
does
he-
suck that the building burned down. Holy shit.
It does, but then he said, "Well, I'll get it back up and running." And I said, "Dude, I'm the type of guy that doesn't wait."
Yeah.
The day that the fire happened, I was open up thanks to his family and other families. You know, Chris Ferris and his dad, you know, Bobby and a bunch of people came together and helped me build this place. In 2 weeks, I was open.
Really.
2 weeks.
Nice.
Like virtually no slowdown. I was tattooing still and here working.
That's
So
awesome. Wow.
remodeling this place. And this place was crazy here. But you know, the
Yeah.
guy who owned Decades is a friend of mine. I grew up with him. And he reached out to me and said, "Hey, I still got that place next door." I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna come check it out." I come check it out, and I took it that night. I said, "Yeah," and he said, "Don't even pay rent for a few months. Just get your shit together and
Yeah.
open up."
Oh yeah, that's
And I was very fortunate for Ryan because, he's a really good dude. And he's
Yeah.
a really good landlord.
yeah. Sounds
Even
like
the people next door, when he moved out, asked me how is he, and I said he's a great landlord. You'll never have issues with him,
it. Yeah.
and I never have issues with him. He's always been great. And any problems, I usually can take care of it, and you just take it off the rent.
Yeah.
He has problems with sometimes
that's
upstairs,
awesome.
and I'll go up there and fix their furnace or whatever for him.
Yeah.
And he'll pay
Yeah,
me for it.
well, yeah, it helps him too because
Yeah.
it gets handled like right away.
Yeah,
and-
because he knows I know how to do
I mean,
all
that's
that.
just how it has to be,
Yeah.
man. You guys you have to help each other out. It can't just be a feud between tenants and landlords. Like, the landlord's got to do his part, and if the tenant just helps out once in a while, he's going to treat you even better. Too.
Yeah.
So it seems like you got a really great relationship with him.
Oh, he's
so
great.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. It helps your business too because it's just like you don't have to worry about that at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it helps you out a lot.
I don't have to worry about being kicked out or if anything's wrong with the place. Like, it just always gets handled,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this place is beautiful too, man. If you ever did go to a different shop, a different spot, I mean, he's got a beautiful spot that he
Oh,
can rent
yeah.
out right
Oh,
away.
he had no problem renting
Yeah,
it
that's
out.
what I'm saying. So, like, he's probably grateful to have a tenant like you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You transform this place.
I'm grateful to have him as a landlord,
So
that's for sure.
that's awesome, man. And things always work out that way. That, things happen for a reason.
Yeah,
for
that's for
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
Just like when I tattooed him, and he asked me, "You guys come and do this?"
Dude, I'm so happy when he asked me about this. I was like, dude, that's not even. I'm like, we should do it at the shop.
Yeah.
Well, I think he said it, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Because we do most of our interviews like at my house, and we're trying to work on getting a spot. But I'm like, this is even better. We're doing a tattoo. This is like,
Yeah, and
Right.
you guys
This
can
is
get
sweet, man.
You can see how I'm actually doing it. The way I approach portraits, it's just bit my tongue. The way I approach portraits is I'm not sure how anybody else approaches it, but I don't think of it as an eyeball or a nose or hair or lips.
Yeah.
I still get anxiety when I do them. Every single portrait, I'm not gonna lie, I get nervous when I'm doing them because you get past the nose and the eyes, I'm good. I don't worry about anything else. Because if you mess it up, especially if it's someone's loved one,
Yeah. They're like, why the hell is Granny cross-eyed now?
exactly,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Then you're like, fuck it, I gotta
of
pull out
course,
the
you said
cheese
granny
grater.
after I said it.
And then he's gotta
Granny
bust out
looking
the
at you
cheese
side-eyed
grater.
I was
from
saying
the
my
grave.
grandmother probably looked at me like that all the time anyway, so it'd work out.
So
It's just her
yeah,
personality shining through your tattoos.
Yes.
the cheese grater is the thing because when I first got my tattoo from Mark, I'm getting it done, and I coughed real quick, and he's like, "Oh, I fucked up. Gotta get the cheese grater."
Gotta get that cheese grater. We'll
Gotta start
over.
fresh, yeah.
But yeah, like I do it basically all in shapes,
Yeah.
So it's chiaroscuro, it's an Italian meaning light and dark, and when you're doing work, like Leonardo, like Da Vinci and artists like that back in the day, that's how they approached all their work. Was lights and darks, eye trickery, tricking the eye and thinking what you're seeing. So if you're doing like your bunch of shapes like triangles, circles, and squares and oblong shapes, you just follow those shapes, and it makes the portrait for you.
Yeah.
And you just add the details.
Yeah, you just start with like the basic lines from your stencil, and then you work out.
And I don't
from
even
there.
use a liner at all. Like only for the high detail, like eyelashes and eyebrows and things like that, around the nose, nostril. But usually I'm using a mag. That's it. I don't use anything else.
Yeah.
It makes it more realistic and more softer.
I know I keep looking at his tattoo here. I don't know who that is on your arm right there. Who's that? Sorry
Emperor
for touching you.
Palpatine. No, you're good.
Who is it?
Just like, let me
Emperor
feel you.
Palpatine there.
Let me touch your body, buddy.
That was a long one.
I mean,
Every episode's got to be a little weird sometimes.
He's into
Sorry.
that. You can touch him. It's all right.
No, but who is that? I'm sorry.
Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, dude. I keep every time he's explaining how he does the portraits, I was looking at
That
the
was a long
nose. And,
tattoo.
yeah,
that's probably one of the longest ones he's done.
Yeah, that is sweet. That's pretty much what my grandmother would look like in the picture. So.
Yes. Your grandmother's Palpatine. You knew it. She saw the dark side.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome.
Man, I love this.
So, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Do you have any like funny stories or like any kind of tattoos that were like horror stories or like super funny?
I have some funny ones, but I have
Do
some
you
horror
like
ones
do
too.
like those like nipple like where people turn like their nipples into like a
no.
cat's butthole
I
or
haven't done
something?
anything like that, but I've done a.
I was not expecting that, dude.
I did this guy. He had a. I wish I had a picture of it. But it's old. It's a long time ago, like 20 years ago. This guy had a big red splotch on his stomach, and we put Gorbachev's portrait there.
Okay.
Gorbachev was the
Russian
president.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he had a big red spot on his head, and it looked exactly like the spot
No shit.
on his head. So we put Gorbachev on his head with a big sickle in the background.
Wow.
And everyone thought he was like a communist, but he's like, no, it's comedy, dude.
Yeah, he's
I
like,
think it's hilarious.
just wanted to turn this ugly thing into a beautiful piece of art.
It was pretty hilarious.
He probably had it his whole life, and now he loves it.
And then I had another guy who had a really long, weird skin tag.
Okay.
Or whatever it is. It was like a long skin tag. It was like that long.
Mm-hmm.
But he never wanted to cut it off. So we just put Pinocchio's head around it. And that was his nose.
Hey, there you go.
He wanted to do something else, but he decided...
I mean, it means he always tells.
decided
He wanted to make
Well,
it.
it means he always tells
he
the
wanted
truth.
to make
then.
it a wiener, but like he
Yeah.
decided against it because,
Yeah,
when he has
forever.
kids and all that stuff.
Yeah.
but it honestly also means he's not a liar too. Because if
Very true.
it's never gonna get straight. It's always gonna be saggy.
It is. It's always...
So actually, that's pretty solid, man. That's a little hidden message. You probably didn't even think of that.
Right? Oh my goodness.
So,
That's so funny.
like, what about
Yeah,
like
that-
worst?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The worst tattoo story, like.
Oh God, he probably doesn't even want to think. This guy doesn't want to hear about it either.
It's when I was early on in the tattooing.
Okay.
And it's my fault. I mean, I screwed up this tattoo bad. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't bad, but like,
everybody
even
makes
today, I
mistakes.
do not want to ever do a fucking Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
I do them.
Okay.
But this girl I was doing a Tinkerbell on, and she just would not stop moving. And when she moved, it made her one eye just tilted just so wrong. It looked like she had like gotten hit with a bat, and just her face was just like kind of melting on one side.
Oh no.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible. I hated that tattoo, and ever since then, and this was like probably like 2003, 4, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And I still today hate that tattoo. Never seen the girl again, but I still hate that tattoo. And if I ever see her again, I'd love to redo it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like,
Cover
hey,
it up.
listen, I'll give you a deal if you
Yeah.
just let me.
Because it was just
redo
awful.
for
I
you.
hated. She just moved. It was on her back, and she just moved at the wrong time. Not because it was hurting or anything. Her boyfriend was there, and she was talking to him, and she went, and he walked back in the room, and she like turned like that as I was doing the eye line, and it just went. Whoop. I'm like, okay. No, there's no fixing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jeez.
nowadays I could fix that. Back then, I just don't think I was. I don't think I was good enough back then to repair that.
Can't you get like the laser tattoo removal and
absolutely.
just like redo it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do a lot of
I
cover-ups.
was thinking about that. I'm like, why don't you just like We have the technology now.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
You
technology.
could literally go through. It'll be freaking, probably like $100 a session or something.
I think
They'll
I
come
don't
and do
remember
2
what Dustin
seconds on
charges,
you.
but he has the refinery. It's called the Finery, I think. It's downtown Buffalo.
Yeah, actually,
I
that's
think
on
it's
Elmwood, right?
Yeah, he's on
I
Elmwood.
literally used to live right around the corner from there.
Yeah, so my friend Dustin owns that, and I refer everybody that I can't. Like I can always do cover ups, but there's certain times where I can't just do a cover up. There's just some things. Everything's coverable, but I would like a few sessions to lighten it up,
Yeah.
so I can do So I can do a better job at covering it up.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean I can only go over it with white so much.
Right.
To like I'll do white sessions.
Right, before the skin is just like
Yeah.
raw and you can't do nothing.
But
else
sometimes
with
it's just so bad that I can't. I have to have some of it removed,
Yeah.
just so I can do a better cover up. Because just sometimes they're just dark, like really dark, and there's
Yeah.
nothing I do is gonna make it look really good.
I feel that's like some tattoo artists, the way they tattoo, they're very heavy-handed.
Yeah,
And
I'm
they're
super
like-
light-handed. So I'm totally
You are,
light-handed.
honestly, because like my
Sometimes in your old age, you're getting a little heavy. Yeah.
my
Am I?
ribs healed
At my
up
old
pretty
age?
good.
Yeah.
You know.
Lean on. I mean, I'm 51, man. I've been tattooing a long time.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm still in it though. Like honestly, like I didn't know. Yeah, I was doing this a long time, but I didn't know in my 30s I was in my 30s till, what I really wanted to do with my life.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I just decided one day I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna stay tattooing. I'm good at it, But
Oh, yeah.
I left this job a couple times because it takes a toll on you. It just does, And sometimes
Yeah.
you don't want to do it. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
No, I
left,
totally-
I left and
that's-
I had a CDL license, so I went and drove concrete truck for a year
Yeah.
just to take a break from this.
Yeah.
And then the company went out of business and said, go back to tattooing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you. bro.
Pretty much.
And I feel like owning your own
Yeah.
spot too is really, it's got to be
I
awesome.
can't
bro.
work for
Yeah.
anybody. I tried.
Yeah.
The problem is that, and this is a major issue in the world of tattooing, is that a lot of owners don't tattoo. They just own the shop, whether they inherited it from somebody or bought it from someone. A lot of
Right.
owners own tattoo shops, don't know a damn thing about tattooing. They have no
Right.
business in this industry, and I worked for a few of them, and they just like work you like a dog. I was doing 10, 15 tattoos a day, every day for months. Yeah, it was
Right.
a lot of money, but you're miserable.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
that's
they're
all
just
you
trying
do.
to make as much money as possible
Yeah,
every day.
like
and
you're
that's
about
all
to
they're
go
worried
home.
about.
You think it's your last one. You're about to go home. You get up there and they're like, "Hey, you got one more." I'm like, "Dude, it's like nine at night, and you want me to do this giant piece that's gonna take me
Yeah.
to 4 a.m."
So were you like you weren't just like renting out a chair then? You were just like working for them?
I was kind of not
how
running
does
out of
that-
chair, but they paid you a percentage at that one that I worked at.
Oh, they pay. Okay.
Yeah, so like
So
I
they'll
got
book
60%.
you out for stuff
They got
and then-
40. They got 40. Eventually, I said I'm getting 70 or I'm leaving. So they gave me
Yeah.
70%, and they got 40. So for every $100 that I made, I got $70 of that. And they set the prices too, so I couldn't say this was like $100. Then and those tattoos I was doing that I thought weren't worth the prices they quoted, but they didn't know anything about tattooing,
Yeah.
and I just did not like working for that.
Well, and
place.
now that you're an owner too, I'm sure that your artists appreciate you as the
Yeah,
owner.
absolutely.
And busting your ass working with them. And
Yeah.
obviously, I'm sure your chemistry is great with the artists too.
Everybody does
that's a big
great.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure that just makes the environment like way better. It makes them feel more confident probably with their work. They're not just being worked like you said, like a horse. Just
Yeah.
Some
nice.
people are just like slaves to the needle, I guess, and not here though. Everyone can come and go as they please. She's about to leave.
No, no.
Okay. I thought you were telling me you were gonna leave. Oh, nice. I thought she's like, I'm about to leave. Which is fine.
Screw you guys.
But
like screw money.
yes. Some people, right? Some like they can come and go as they please. If they don't have anything, they want to go enjoy the day on a nice day. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go do.
Yeah, that's cool.
Go do you. If the phone rings, I'm gonna call you back, and if you want to come in and do one, they don't have to, but most of the time they just come back.
Yeah.
because we're not
why
we
not?
try not
That's
to turn
perfect.
anyone away.
That's perfect.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the important part for sure.
And it's getting busier and busier by the day too.
Well, yeah, summer is usually the time when people come around and get a tattoo and show
It's
it
tax
off
season,
and,
plus the economy's doing
tax
really well right
season
now.
Too. Yeah. Yeah.
The economy's doing really well right now, which is good. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I love what I do, and everybody wants to get in now, and I wish I could do that for everybody, but it's difficult to get everybody in now.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I squeeze people in at the end of the day a lot, you know. Depends if I have to go into the kids or not. If they're, you know, she's having a hard time putting them to bed or whatever, but usually it's a case by case day.
Yeah.
She usually handles it really well.
That's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you know, at the end of the day, it's the Buffalo Experience podcast. I gotta ask you some Buffalo questions. Are you from Buffalo?
Yeah, I actually was born and raised here.
Okay.
Edson Street's about 9 or 10 streets away on the right up there.
Yeah.
I grew up in a house built in 1803.
Okay.
Very old house. One of the oldest houses in Buffalo, which is not there anymore, unfortunately. It got tore down.
Yeah.
But the house used to be in Cass Park, then was relocated to Edson to be one of the first houses on Edson.
Wow.
It was a fur trading house. It was a store. It
That's
survived
pretty cool.
the burning of Buffalo in 1812, the War of Buffalo.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it had a lot of history. It was a fur trading house. I remember
Oh, the
seeing that on the
history is
wing.
amazing. Wow.
House was haunted too.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Got a story about that.
Oh, you could definitely tell us a story
Got a
about
couple
that.
a couple haunted stories, but this one. So my
I
sister,
love haunted stories.
My sister
and
was,
people would love that. Yeah.
my sister had Down syndrome. Funny thing, she used to call me retarded all the time.
Oh, so she
She was
was
had
a
Down
ball
syndrome,
buster.
but she called me
She was a
retarded
ball
all the
buster.
time.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good though, man. That's
loved
cool.
it.
Yeah.
So I had to work in the morning. I was tired, and I had a paper route. And I remember I was like 15, 16 years old, and I had a paper route. And I still go to school, but it was a Saturday morning. You have to wake up early and get the paper, and then Sunday morning you have to wake up early. So those days are early days for me. She's singing in the hallway. She used to talk to herself all the time. We always just thought she was special, so she would talk to herself.
Yeah.
But it was 3 a.m. I was exhausted, you know. Plus, I was out with my friends, you know, riding bikes and doing stupid shit, building ramps, jumping out the falls, you know,
Yeah.
Cass Falls. And the Black Bridge, we used to call it, and the Green Bridge. We used to jump out the Black Bridge because it had deeper water.
Nice.
So I go out in the hallway. I'm like, Melissa, can you please go to bed? I need to sleep. And she said, Hodel said, shut the fuck up and you're a bitch. And she walked away and went to sleep. I'm like, okay, well, tell Hodel to shut the fuck up. I'm going to bed. So years later, my mom and dad were divorced and they were going to sell the house. I convinced them to let me rent the house from them. Big mistake. They shouldn't have, because it was just a big party house.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it.
Crazy.
Yeah, you were like 20.
Oh,
right?
I think I was 18 when I.
Oh, you weren't even 20.
19 years old when I moved in there by myself.
jeez.
So I was going through some drawers in the house, you know, just cleaning out stuff, and I found the deed. My hair's staying up on my arms now. I can feel it. I look at the deed, and this dude back in the 1800s lived there named Hodel.
Oh, duh. Oh,
So
jeez.
she was talking to some dude named Hodel. So I called my mom, like, Mom, like, you know Hodel is real? She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, Melissa used to talk to Hodel all the time. I'm like, he's on the deed in the 1800s. He owned this house in the 1800s.
Oh my God.
1860s. He owned this house. And she's like, oh, I had no idea. I'm like, yeah. So she was talking to a real ghost the whole time.
Yeah, there's no way she would have known that at all.
Yeah. Hodel
That's
said, shut
insane.
the fuck up. Really?
Now you're
Weird.
like, damn, I told him to shut up too. Like,
Well, if I would have known he
Could've
was real, I would have said, okay, I'm going
yeah,
to bed.
yeah. But, all right, I'll shut up. No
Have
problem.
fun, have fun with Hodel.
Yeah,
And we always suspected
Keep him
the house was,
entertained,
you know,
'cause-
weird, but
Yeah.
we
That
always
kind
suspected
of
there was some weird stuff going on at the house.
yeah, but that's freaky.
that kind of
man.
reminds me of this house I used to live in on off of Elmwood on Hodge.
Uh-huh.
It was the oldest house on the street. The guy who they named the street after, Hodge, owned the house.
Nice.
And I lived in like half of the like maids' quarters or whatever, or servants' quarters.
Isn't it weird how they had weird, like weird closets you can hide into?
Yeah.
Those are servants' closets, because my house had that too. Had these weird servant closets where if you need something, you just ring a bell and they'd come out that closet. They just sat in there. It's weird.
Wow.
Yeah, that's weird.
It is weird. So your kitchen was probably like that. Wasn't that like your kitchen was like tucked in weird, like.
Yeah, my
We had
kitchen
two
was
kitchens
like.
too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, one, and then there was a door. It was actually a bookshelf, but it was a door that went to another kitchen. And I had no clue until I was like older that was there.
Yeah.
And the appliances that were in there. It was a cast iron stove, a big one. It was gas. Might have been converted, but it had 2 big porcelain doors and 4 burners with these cast iron and marble or porcelain knobs. And then the freezer was an ice box. Did you ever hear it referred to as an ice box?
I think.
Yeah.
I think
This was an
like
actual
with the
ice
metal
box where you
doors.
take the ice guy would come in and put ice in it and keep your stuff cold. Didn't plug in. It's just you put the ice into one part and all your stuff in the other part, and it would keep it cold.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Yeah, that's some old tech.
Yeah, and that was in the old part of the kitchen. You know, like I said, there was 2 kitchens, and like my mom, like, why is the house so much longer? But we never go to that part. She's like, oh, that's the other kitchen. I'm like, huh? So she showed me how to get in there.
And she never used it.
No, nobody
It
ever
was
used
just
it.
like abandoned.
Not for
almost in the
storage or
back of
anything.
the-
And there was another staircase that led up to the
That kind of
attic.
makes it almost freakier too.
It was. There was a staircase that led up to the attic too, in there.
See, I
Very
like
weird.
that though. Like you probably think about that shit a lot. Like you probably wish you explored. The
I wish that house
more.
was still around though. You know, it
Yeah.
just sucks that house is gone, because that was a beautiful.
Was it a
house.
big house? Was it like 3
Yeah,
stories?
that's the thing
or-
is
No,
they're
it
all.
was a long house, like the Native American long houses.
Oh, okay.
It was
Yeah.
a long house, but it had a wraparound porch that went like this and like this, and then there was a big window. I forget what they call them, but it's for the sunroom. And then there was another porch after that, you know? And
Yeah.
it was 2 stories, and then the attic was off the 1 bedroom, which we converted into another bedroom after
Yeah.
we opened up the other kitchen and uncovered the staircase that was there.
Yeah.
Where a hotel was.
Where Hodel
Yeah,
lived.
they're
You know what?
definitely.
You're probably right. That was Hodel's kitchen.
Yeah, maybe that's why you everything worked out for you because you didn't go in his kitchen.
Yeah.
Maybe if you guys would have torn that
And
shit
I don't
out,
want
he
to know
would
what
have
was
went.
cooking in there.
He would have went crazy
we
tearing
told
your
him
new
to shut
kitchen
the
apart.
fuck
Yeah, you never know.
Across
Like
the
I don't
room.
like these new appliances.
I don't like these little appliances. Where's my
Yeah.
ice box?
I was just gonna say that. Man, that's
Yeah.
Creepy,
interesting.
right? Creepy.
That is, yeah.
Very weird.
Wow.
But I miss that house because, like, I would never live there because Edson's not really a nice street anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, from what I've heard. Like, I'll drive down there. I'm not afraid to go in the neighborhoods. Shit, I still go on Broadway. Half the houses are gone. I mean, it doesn't scare me to go down the streets. I grew up
Yeah.
here. But, you know,
Yeah.
but I was born and raised on Edson. Went to school 70 right there on Buffum Street. I used to walk to school every day. And then I went to Seneca Vocational High School.
Oh, okay.
You know, that school is a charter school now, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, there's supposed to be a reunion coming up, I guess, for that school.
Nice. All right, yeah. So you're a Buffalonian through and through.
Straight
Yeah,
up.
my whole family's
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
here. Like his family knows my family, which is weird because like you guys all, your mom and dad and everybody knew all the people that we knew. You know, and I dated your dad's cousin for a while. So it'd be your second, third, you'd be her third cousin or whatever.
All that great shit.
Yeah. And but they all knew my family and we all knew each other and everything. It was really
Yeah.
tough.
Buffalo's a small kind of
Small
place. You know what I
town.
mean? Everybody kind of knows everybody else. You know, they say there's like 6 degrees of separation for everybody. Like,
Oh my God, isn't
in
that the
world,
truth?
Like, you know,
It's weird when I moved out to
you
San
know one
Francisco. I
person
met
that
people
knows
from
another person that knows another person that knows, you know, whoever.
here. Yeah.
But like in Buffalo, it's like 2. You
When I
know?
lived out in California, I met people that were from here. It's weird, crazy.
Yeah.
And I found out I had another aunt from my grandfather. I had no clue that my grandfather had another daughter with someone else that he hooked up with when he was in the military.
Yeah.
And she lived out in Oregon, I believe. And I found that out when I was living out that way. And I called
That's
my
cool.
aunt. She's like, "Oh yeah, I have a sister. I just never met her. Don't know who she is." I'm like, "Well, I found her, you know, but she passed away, you
Oh.
know." Yeah, but
Yeah.
she's got kids, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was pretty upset to hear that she passed away, of course. But I mean, like,
Yeah, I
she
bet.
never met her. You know,
Sorry
my
to
dad
hear
never
that.
met her.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess where can everybody find you like online? You got like
Yeah.
TikTok, YouTube, Instagram,
I got TikTok.
all that
Tik-
stuff.
Nice. You got
My TikTok's pretty fun.
Okay.
I haven't done anything on it in a while.
You
I
wanna-
did this one video. Yeah, it's just Mark. It's just Mark Sinsel. You know, MarkSinsel. Very
Okay.
easy to find on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, any of the Twitters, whatever.
Okay.
Twitter, X, whatever it is. And funny, I did one video on TikTok that exploded. And overnight, I had like 100,000 followers and like 1 million views on one video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I deleted that account and started a new one because it was just getting too much.
Oh, jeez.
But I still have a lot of followers on that one now
Yeah.
too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll tag your social medias and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd
In
be
the
cool.
description down below, so people can find you obviously as a tattoo artist. And,
Yeah.
also, what about your shop though? So do you have like a Facebook?
Yeah, we have a Holy
Yeah.
Ground
People can-
tattoo.
They can book like right through your Facebook, or they
Yeah,
can
they
just
can book
contact.
through Facebook or they can call us.
They call.
So
Okay.
what? Blue Lagoon on Facebook. Blue Lagoon.
Blue Lagoon. You know, I should make one for Blue Lagoon. And it might be one. But I should make one for Blue Lagoon Studios.
Well, yeah. This is the What's the name of your business?
Holy Ground.
Holy Ground. Okay.
Yeah. We came
it's
up with
just-
it because of a Native American thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, so Holy Ground on Facebook. They can find you on it. You have an Instagram. Where you
Instagram,
post, like,
too,
your
for
work
Holy
and
Ground,
stuff,
yep.
I'm sure. So, okay, we'll get all that information so people can,
Yeah.
if you know, obviously, they know what kind of work you do,
Yeah.
what you specialize in. They're literally watching you do a tattoo right now, which is really
Right.
cool.
They can
So-
actually also see all the tattoos. Like a lot of the portraits I've done are on there. You know.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Yeah, I guarantee. I really hope, you know, even if one person books through you from this episode, that would be great.
I'm sure it'll happen.
You know, that's kind of the goal with this
I'm
whole
sure it'll
podcast.
happen. I've been
is,
watching
you know,
I've been watching you guys online. You see me commenting on some of it.
Yeah.
you
I
know,
wouldn't mind-
maybe.
I wouldn't mind
yeah.
that one kid who got mistaken for who did he get mistaken for again? The rapper kid.
Oh, A Boogie with the
his
hoodie.
his identity.
Yeah, A
Yeah.
Boogie with the hoodie. And,
Yeah, A Boogie with the hoodie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind
Ace
getting hooked up
Boogie.
with him. Have
Yeah.
him come down to my studio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
So
sure he'd be down
that's
for that.
the funny thing is that's one of the reasons why I knew about the lagoon was because there was a video of him in streets,
Yeah.
and we were asking him about if he did work with streets, stuff like that. And that's one of the videos I seen him at the lagoon studio.
Nice.
And then I seen a video of Emrod at the studio,
Nice.
Emily Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And like, there's like another group of kids that came to your studio. They're like a rap group, the Billy Kids, I think.
Oh yeah.
Billy
Yep.
Kids. So I know like JT's really cool. Justin, JT Hush. He's really cool. Me and him got actually a song that we haven't dropped yet, but plan to drop it into a video.
And you're
too,
welcome to
but-
come and
Nice.
you're welcome to come and record there and use it if you want.
Dude, I mean,
Yeah, if you want to come and hang out and record and see how it works and see how it's set up, because like I said, everything is state of the art.
Yeah.
You trying to touch my nipple again?
Yeah.
Really?
Trying to stretch.
and we
we're
got
not-
it on camera.
we're not done
Come
here.
on, man.
Hey, I mean,
Listen.
you're constant.
I know you're excited.
This is where the advertisement
He's
is.
trying to get you
Just
excited
being
as he
gentle.
is.
Yeah.
Just give him a little brush by his nipple. Like,
He's
That's what he did. He gave me a little brush bite.
yeah, just a
He's
little
just trying to get
nipple.
as excited as you are.
I know, right? He is pretty excitable.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to.
It's
I would
that
love to
mullet.
come to the studio though. That would be great. Like,
Yeah.
see, I'm one of those people where I don't like, I would want to find a way to be like, okay, you're gonna let me come to your studio one day.
And use
Let
it.
me
use
do
everything.
let me do something to help
Yeah.
you though. Like,
Yeah,
let
absolutely.
me help you with like a promo video for your shop or something. Let me
Yeah.
come in and get some video and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw some text over it, and or like an advertisement or something. That
Yeah,
would be
I'm
sweet,
down for
you know?
whatever. Like
So
we're a small community here, and Buffalo needs to support their own.
yeah,
Oh,
you
for
know?
sure.
And that's
And
why I'm glad you
that's-
guys are here. You know.
that's-
yeah.
That's the thing. Is that's a big part of the podcast. It's like
Yeah, we
we're
support
trying to
our own.
lift up, all the people that we know that have got, some things going on here and it needs some exposure.
Yeah.
And we come and we ask them dumb questions,
say stupid things.
I love the dumb questions.
That's usually me.
I love the stupid
and then
things.
I
I
laugh
love the
into the
dumb
mic.
questions.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's great.
It works.
You should see how the outro goes. So swing the mic around like a magic wand and be like, "This is the Buffalo Podcast." Remember that? Remember that one episode? It's like, "This has been the Buffalo Podcast."
Yeah, there's a bunch of clips of me just
We
saying,
keep it
just
too.
fucking it up.
We
great.
keep the fuck ups because it just
Are you
makes
gonna
it
make
so
this
much
a whole
funnier.
video of fuck ups?
Honestly, it's gone very smooth.
it'll
I don't think we've
probably
really messed up.
We're allowed to swear on YouTube.
I'm sure there's gonna be a
No,
lot of
I
clips.
go in and I edit it out.
Oh,
There's
okay.
actually some great
Can I
AI.
come in and just start busting it down?
Oh, you can do whatever you want. It's gonna be on the episode though. I promise. Like you might be in frame right now too.
Start busting it down.
Yeah, right.
Start busting it down.
Oh, Doug's talking back
No, so
Right.
Adobe Premiere has. I actually figured out that they have AI integrated in their program, which we pay for it, and
Nice.
like, why don't I use it? You can actually
Yeah.
transcribe the entire audio, and you can do pretty much anything with the
And you can
audio.
just hit clean up.
So I can literally just type in the word "fuck," as long as I'm allowed to swear here.
You can swear, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I can just
You're
type
at a
it in.
tattoo
Fuckity
shop,
fuck.
buddy. You don't think
I
you
know,
can
but like,
swear?
I don't know
Swearing all the
if there's some
We've been swearing all the time. Eh?
I don't know, some mom that's
Fuckity
getting a
fuck, fuck,
tattoo
fuck.
about the kid with him.
I mean,
I could literally
this is
type it
kind of
in
an
and,
adult
you know.
establishment anyway.
Yeah.
Shit, I know 2-year-olds that swear.
That was me.
I was gonna say
That was me. I was
I
raised
grew
by
up in a
sailors.
household that was like
Yeah.
I was
I
basically
was-
forced to swear just because I thought it was funny.
Exactly.
You know.
I was raised by sailors, so
Yep. Literally.
my dad, or my mom, my grandfather, my uncle were all in the Navy. And,
So they all swore a lot.
oh yeah, my mom the big was. Hi, mom.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, she used to. Yeah. Which I don't blame her because I was a pain in the ass kid. So you know what I mean. And that's what
Yeah.
it is. But
Yeah,
I was a pain in the ass kid. I was always doing something stupid.
yeah, exactly.
for sure.
I definitely gave
Building
her
ramps
reasons to
off
yell
of-
at me.
Off of, like, man, we always got hit by cars so many times, but Mercy on Casanova Street,
Yeah.
the park.
That's how he starts it off. Yeah, we got hit by so many cars.
Oh yeah, dude. So there's those two black paths that meet like this right at Casanova, the Black Bridge, and there was this indent. The indent's not there no more. Not like it used to be. It used to be like you'd go down and then it would go up. But now I think
Yeah.
they tapered it down so it's flat because they knew us kids. What we would do is we'd go as fast as we could on our BMX bikes. We'd go down, up, let go of the bike, and try and grab onto a tree. But then we'd look down, we're like 20 feet up, and like, how do we get down? So we had to shimmy out the
Oh
tree
my
and go down.
jeez.
But
Yeah,
the bike
you
would
were
go
savage.
flying into the street and keep going. And sometimes if you missed, you were with the bike going into the street, and cars would be like, there's a stop, red light there, but cars would be going by and like, oh man, I'm surprised we're still alive. But the hospital was right there, so we're good.
Oh yeah. You could just walk right to the
Yeah.
hospital, lock
Speaking
your
of
bike
it-
Or
up.
crawl
I'm pretty
like a
sure I
zombie.
almost
Zombie
died
crawl.
pretty much on that bridge.
Yeah,
In the Cass Creek, because when I was a kid,
Cass Creek, man, that
I
could be
was
unforgiving.
so it was the middle of winter, and I went and walked down on Cass Creek because I thought it was frozen solid, and I go fucking waist deep, pretty much like a little above my knees into the
Wow.
A
freezing
normal
water.
height person at their waist.
At freaking negative 20 out. So I had to walk like 10 blocks to my buddy's house.
Oh, in the
Freezing.
middle
And
of
by the
winter.
time I get there, my lips are like blue. I can barely move.
Oh, you had to be super cold.
I had
Yeah.
like ice sheets formed on me.
Would you like one?
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Had
that's
to be
wild,
super
dude.
cold.
I legitimately probably, if I would have been out there for, maybe 10, 15 more minutes, I probably would have died.
Isn't that how
Or
you
at
get like
least that-
hypothermia, right?
Oh, yeah.
From that freezing cold water, and then your legs were literally probably frozen. You
I
could probably hear it
literally-
crunching. After
when
a
I
while.
tell
Better off
you-
staying in the water.
I literally had ice
Until
sheets.
someone comes and saves you, like, yeah, because that wind is gonna freeze your
Have
legs.
you ever had ice sheets form on you? Like,
No, that's what I figured would happen.
I
as
had
you're
it happen.
walking,
I've had it happen
and you
Um,
freaking move a little
just
bit,
getting out
and
of the
this
shower
big
and walking outside in the freezing
Yeah.
cold. My long hair friggin' frozen. But I've
Yeah.
had that happen to me, but not like you, man.
Yeah,
I
that's
never went to the
crazy.
water. But cool thing is, Cass Park would freeze every year, and
Yeah.
before we actually had an ice rink, it would freeze, and me and my friends would go out and pick all the sticks and rocks in this big area, clean them all out, pour water in the holes, and then wait for it to freeze overnight because it would flood
yeah.
down by the casino over there. and we play hockey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, before we actually had a hockey rink. Tosh College was always there, but we weren't always allowed to use it because they were always whatever. A lot of times they didn't have open skate, especially times where we wanted to.
Yeah.
But then they eventually, I don't know when Tosh College opened up, but I know it was a swimming pool outside where the casino was.
Yeah.
You guys are too young for this, but there was an outdoor swimming pool right where that circle is when you park in the park when you go to the park. You go left, and then that big building.
Big Cavs Park or something?
Cass Park. There used to be a giant in-ground swimming pool.
No
They had
shit.
these brown stone rocks, like little pebbles. There was some kind of finish they did back then. They were so freaking hot that you'd get burn marks on your feet from the sun because it was in this outdoor.
Oh, like on the outside of the pool.
On the outside pool. So you
Jeez.
always wanted to go in the pool because your feet were on fire walking on that. Because it was brown dots. It was white concrete. It looked white, but all these brown dots would bake in the sun and just burn your feet.
Yeah.
Yep.
And sometimes you'd have these burn blisters all over your feet from that.
Jeez.
Yeah. So we didn't have Crocs back then. We had flip flops, but no, we didn't wear those.
No.
Yeah.
We didn't have those. Just
It's the good old days, man.
Rough it.
Yep, just
Yeah.
roughing it. Right. I
think that's
remember
why-
riding my bike barefoot with like you'd have like the metal,
You got bear's feet?
pedals. You know.
You got bear's feet?
No.
I got human feet. But yeah, you were saying? Sorry, dad jokes come out
We would just do
sometimes.
stupid things like that, man. And
Yeah.
then your foot would slip off the bike,
and
and
don't
you
forget
just
the pedals
drag
had
your
those.
foot on the
The
concrete.
pedals have those like big metal teeth on them too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I've had
hurt
those
so
hit
bad.
my shin, and I'd just be like a gouge in my leg. I had
yeah.
to get stitches, and I would just be looking at my leg.
I
It wouldn't
probably
even,
still
how it
have
wouldn't-
holes in my legs. From
You know how it wouldn't even bleed yet,
Yeah.
and it would just be white, and then it would start bleeding.
Yeah.
I remember just being like 10 years old, like I should probably go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Like there's been plenty of times where I'm like, yeah, I gotta call my mom. Like it's gonna bleed, and it's gonna not stop.
I stepped on
bleeding.
glass. I stepped on glass swimming in the falls.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, and my foot was
Barefoot.
just, yeah,
Oh,
my foot
in
was
the
just
bottom of your foot too.
gushing. So I walked all the way home, blood splatters all the way
Oh
home.
my.
And then my mom made me go to the hospital. I'm like, I don't want to go to the hospital. But she made me go to the hospital. So I'm like, I'm not walking, am I? But she wrapped my foot up and drove me to the hospital. I
And the
thought she was
glass,
gonna make
was
me
it
walk
still
to
in
the
your
hospital.
foot though? Like did
It came out, but it was
Oh,
just
okay.
a big
Oh, yeah.
gash like that on the bottom of my foot, and blood was just pouring out.
And they had to stitch you up.
I,
God, yeah.
I
That probably was
kneeled on
terrible.
I
horrible.
kneeled
God,
on
I
a
couldn't
piece of
even
glass like that before.
Oh, it was the
I was
worst.
playing pool with a buddy of mine, Jordan, and somebody dropped this glass jar or whatever. You know, thought he cleaned it up, and we're playing darts right next to it. So one of my
You
darts
step
hit
on
the
it?
ground. No, I knelt down to
No.
get the dart, and it got me like
No.
right between my kneecap and my
Oh,
lower bone down there, whatever.
Yeah,
Every
right.
time
I
I
know. I
hear
was trying to
about
think of like what
anybody
that
kneeling
is. Is that like your tendon right there, your ACL or whatever?
Something
used to
like
be on your
that.
knees.
And
Oh,
it was like probably like 2.5 inches into
it's
my
public.
knee.
Oh, dude, that's the worst.
anytime I
Too,
hear
when you're
about
just
anyone
looking at
kneeling
it.
down on something, it's just the worst. I hate kneeling on stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know,
me
man.
too.
Stepping on a piece of glass and walking around gushing,
Bro,
and then having to
kneeling
get
on it
stitches in the
is
bottom
so
of your.
much worse.
He had to get stitches in the bottom
The
of his
stitches
foot,
were the worst because,
though.
like,
Like,
I can't remember. It was like a
couldn't
few weeks I had them
imagine
in.
walking on that.
But just walking on the stitches were just horrible.
Oh my
and like at night they itched so
Because I
bad.
busted
Yeah.
my knees up, like, I got so many scars on my knees from, like, doing stupid shit, like,
Yeah.
playing street hockey in shorts, and going, and, like, blowing down the street in rollerblades, and then just, like, falling, and just, like,
Yep.
the knees are what took all the damage, and, like,
Yep.
they gotta pick the rocks out of your knee, like,
Yup.
oh my god, dude.
And it's tattooed.
And that's terrible,
You know,
too,
the rocks
don't get
stay
me
in
wrong,
your.
but
If the
I
rocks
never-
stay in your skin, it looks like a tattoo.
Yeah.
I've seen that before. A guy who had road rash from a motorcycle accident. But speaking of playing hockey in the streets, we used to play hockey in the streets. My poor mother. Oh my god. So my mom, we had these old couches, man. I remember them. Everybody had them in the 80s and 70s with the wood, and then either the farm picture print on the couch cushions. Dave, you remember those? The farm, the couches with the brown wood and the farm pictures or the flowers or whatever.
Oh yeah, gramouflage.
Gramouflage. There it is. Gramouflage.
Camouflage.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's like camouflage, but gramouflage.
So Google gramouflage, you'll see pictures of soldiers that have come home and crashed out on grandma's couch and you can barely see them.
Love it. So,
That is funny.
so my mom. Oh my god, I got so many stories. But my mom, she was at work and they wanted me to play goalie. I didn't have no goalie pads. No one else could afford goalie pads when we were younger.
Usually the hockey stick. Yeah.
Yeah, we had the hockey stick, and I'm not getting in there to do that. And I feel like Ricky from Trailer Park Boys when I'm saying this, but because he had the milk jug on his face and like the food trays on his leg.
Yeah, yeah.
I literally took a cushion and cut it in half and strapped it to my leg with some belts.
Your mom's
Oh my
cushion.
God.
Dude.
My mom was so pissed. She was so mad when she came home.
You thought to go in the living room and get one of her cushions off the couch.
Yeah.
And you didn't think like that she would need that.
I mean, when you're young, you don't
I
really
know,
think about
right?
that stuff.
I know, but I'm like,
And now
oh
you're
my
older
god,
and
if
you'll
I
think,
ever
man,
did
if my
that.
kids ever did that, I'm gonna kill
Oh,
them.
my mom, I wouldn't be here right now.
Right?
Like she would have killed me, like for real. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's crazy. Like, cause I've done some wild shit, like just use my mom's stuff without asking.
Oh yeah.
And ends up not coming home or whatever, you know. But never a couch cushion.
Yeah. Man, I savaged that couch
Or
cushion.
like none of her electronics. Like I never, you know, just things that I knew that like, oh yeah.
It didn't
she
kill
would-
me though.
Yeah, it would. She would. Oh yeah, it probably helped you out
It helped
during
my legs.
hockey.
I didn't get all beat up.
Yeah, honestly, it probably helped you out a lot.
Oh yeah.
I would, yeah, you would want something.
And I wasn't a goalie. I
Yeah.
don't want to play goalie, but
I used to love that, man. We used to play. I had all the gear for the goalie setup, and I always played on foot too, because you could just like. No one could score on you, man. You're on foot, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the good days. The nets are like super tiny too. We
Yeah.
always had like the small hockey net.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like my big ass is just like, go ahead, try and
you
score.
ain't get past me.
Yeah. You get that one friend that's good at hockey though, and he just like wrist shots it into the corner that you didn't know was
Yeah.
open. Yeah, you know.
Right over your shoulder in the
Good
top
days, man.
in the
Yeah.
top shelf for Mama
Yeah.
hides the cookies.
Those are the good days, man.
Oh, for
man.
sure.
Blasting each other with hockey pucks.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you get pissed off.
You
and
guys
just
never
like,
had jarts, did you?
wrist shot it right to your head.
You
What was
guys
that?
never had jarts, did you?
You say jars?
Jarts or lawn
Lawn
are you talking
darts?
about lawn
Illegal
darts?
now.
They're illegal now.
You're talking about lawn darts,
Yeah.
right? I've heard about them, and that sounds
I still
terrifying.
have a set.
Do you really?
I gave them to your sister,
We'll go
right?
outside and play for the podcast.
Yeah, I'm good.
So
You guys can play it, and guess what? I'll stand behind the tripod.
this is how stupid we were when we were kids.
I'll get everything. I'll
We
get it
would
going
take these
up and coming
darts
down.
that were metal ends, this long of a big metal weight, and then a long point at the end of it, a long stick with a big old, fletching like an arrow.
Yeah.
And we would take them, and we would throw them as high as we could, and then just run in all directions, and hope not to get one in the head. None of us ever got hit, but they would stick in.
Honestly,
The
I feel like we
blacktop,
need
in
to
the
bring that
blacktop.
back.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Three,
We need
four
to
Because you
bring
just
different
said
that
there's a
back.
weight. There's a
Honestly-
weight on it, so
Yeah.
it's literally like
Honestly-
coming down with like 10 times the force.
Yeah.
I think we need to bring it back. I think we need
don't.
natural selection again.
Dude,
I think
I
we
don't
need.
think
glad
that's
natural selection
natural.
didn't choose us.
Throwing it in the air is not natural, especially if you're with a group
Listen,
of friends and one of you is
Listen,
going to
if
die.
you're
That's
part
Russian
of the
roulette.
group of friends and you're throwing up an arrow
You
and you
have to
feel
do
it, and you know it's got a freaking arrow tip on it, and you get hit by it, I don't feel
It's just
bad
a
for
tip.
you.
Oh, you're saying just bring them back to see who? Okay,
See who would do it. No, bring it back for this generation.
just bring it back and
Bring
see
it back for the
see
newer
how much fun it
generations.
is, guys.
Because I'm sure
Let's
that
see.
it would get rid of like half a generation.
Yeah, right.
Because they probably
Start
wouldn't
fresh.
run.
Listen, well, you don't think about how many
What's
kids
wrong?
you would
I'm
lose.
watching
You
my
think
iPad
about the
right now.
strength of the kids that are left. Okay, those kids
Yeah, that
that are
makes
left
sense.
were smart enough to run away from it.
Yeah.
I don't
Damn,
know.
that's
I don't know about
crazy.
the kids nowadays though.
You know what I
I
mean?
They might just stand there on their iPad, not paying attention to it, and then get hit in the head. But funny thing is, we Googled this maybe like a year or two ago, to see if there were any accidents. And yeah, sure enough, there's pictures with kids with a jart in their head, like just boom. Remember we looked that up?
Wow, that's
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
like Ralphie's son from The Sopranos, but it was a bow and arrow, and they were shooting the
Pretty
bow and arrow
much the
into the
same
sky.
thing, yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
they're holding the target, and then Ralphie comes running out, and his kid's got an arrow that went right through his collarbone all the way into his chest. And his son died and shit. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I did some wild shit,
that
man,
stuff
but I
could've
feel
happened.
like I don't know. We seen some shit like that, and we're like, nah, not happening, dude. Like, get the kickball out. We'll play kickball. We'll break some
we used to do
windows,
that
shit
too,
like
but we
that.
used to
You
try and
know?
kick them over like
I don't know.
the
We
wires.
were bad as kids. I remember we used to get like little firecrackers and throw like
Oh my god.
little garbage bins over them and freaking send them up.
We used to take M80s and a slingshot,
Oh my god.
and I'd hold it like this. He'd light it, and we'd let go, hoping that it just kept going and not just land on my shoulder.
Or blow up in the air and not like land on somebody or.
Yeah, but it would go far. Like it would fly.
Yeah.
And it would always blow up in the air somewhere.
And it was an M80, an actual M80.
An actual M80.
Like,
yeah.
It made the whole
Like,
neighborhood
everybody
echo.
could get 'em back
yeah.
then.
The whole
They were
neighborhood
everywhere.
was echoed. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody can get them
Was
back.
it like
then.
an eighth of a stick of dynamite or something like that? Or
Yeah, maybe not that much.
Not quite,
Yeah,
but-
maybe an eighth.
Because
Yeah,
I remember
an
my
eighth
dad had a
dynamite, but they're
quarter stick
loud.
like 2 summers ago, and it was like we ran away from it, and I felt the wind.
The
from
shock
it.
wave.
Yeah, the shock wave just hit
Yeah.
me, and I was like, dude, that would totally blow your arm off.
Yeah.
Oh
You should
yeah.
look up online and see what those actually do to people. Because the one guy, I forget what it was, he was trying to put it in like a tube or something, and he threw the lighter in the tube, but held on to,
Oh my god,
and just didn't realize he was holding on to it, and his hand was just
done.
done. Like all his fingers were gone.
I actually had something similar with so when I was a kid, I was lighting off some fireworks. You know those like wolf packs?
Oh yeah,
How they're a bunch of little individual little firecrackers?
yeah.
So I was picking up those, and I had a few in my hand, and I went to light the bottle rocket. I lit the bottle rocket, but I also lit like 2 or 3 of the ones in my hand.
And those will hurt your hands too. They'll.
And I didn't realize
Did they split your
until
fingers
the
open?
first one freaking went off, or I'm sorry, until like I felt like the first like spark from the
the
wick,
yeah.
which was very shortly before it went off.
Yeah, they're not
So-
that long.
You
I
felt it.
Luckily, I let go of it, but I literally still had like black marks on my hand.
Yeah,
and I
from the
remember it just like going off in my hand pretty much.
I mean, it's gunpowder burning your fingers, you know.
Yeah, and I jumped straight into the pool because I was at my grandmother's house. And
I
the
believe
pool
it.
is probably what saved me from having like catastrophic burns on my hand. 'Cause
Yeah.
right away, you know what I mean, it stopped the burn with the cold water.
Yeah, it's wild, dude. Yeah.
But
See, I never messed around with fireworks either. I don't know. Maybe I was just like,
dude,
I
I
don't
got out of the
anymore.
water and I had
Yeah,
I got
don't
out of the
anymore
water and
because I
my
need my
hand was
hand.
black.
yeah. I mean,
But-
most people need their hands, but yeah, you're just
wait, you
you're
can't
thinking a
do your
little
job
smarter
without-
these days.
I mean, I can tattoo you on my feet, but
Yeah.
I'm sure
probably
you,
could.
sure you wouldn't want.
He's been doing it long enough. He could
Right.
probably do a whole portrait in one day with his feet.
Yeah. I mean, I tattoo both my hands. I'm somewhat ambidextrous,
Yeah, right.
so like there's parts where I need to do it with my left hand and right hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna test you.
Was there any more
All
questions that you
right.
had?
No,
Paul, or-
that's about it. I
Feel
think we
pretty
should
good
probably
about
end
that,
it
man.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is the Buffalo Experience Podcast. I'm Rolo Big Dave.
And I'm Motiques.
And I'm Mark Sinsel.
And I'm Chris Ferris.
All right.
All right.
Peace out.
Peace.